Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Sabrina Huda. My group and I will be presenting about price ceiling. So what is price ceiling? Price ceiling is a situation where the government controls the maximum price charged for a product, commodity, or service. The reason why the government sets the maximum price is to prevent it rising above a certain level. This will result to the quantity demanded for a product, commodity, or service is greater than the quantity supplied. For example, let's say the government determines a maximum price or price ceiling of 2 ringgit. Shortage will occur as the quantity demanded is 40, meanwhile the quantity supplied is only 20.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nadra Imani and I will be explaining the solution for market shortage. So, market shortage is when the quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. When this happens, supplier will have to increase the price until the quantity demanded decrease and quantity supplied increase. In simpler way, supplier have to put a higher price so that the consumers will slow down their demands, and that way the stocks will become enough and increase. However, due to this, consumers might be unable to buy more due to the higher price. However, suppliers will be more satisfied to accept at a higher price because this way they will be able to produce greater quality and more quantity of stocks for the consumers.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ilyas Haziq. I will be presenting about the advantages of price ceiling. Okay, for the first advantage, products with lower prices for the consumers. This is because the supplier must sell their goods or items below the maximum price that has been provided by the government. So that is why consumers can buy the items at a reasonable and controlled price. Okay, for the second advantage, it prevents exploitation towards consumers as the supplier need to charge below the maximum prices. Okay, what I am trying to say here is that the supplier cannot take any advantage towards the consumers, like selling their goods at a higher price. Why? This is because the government itself, they has already made a law which supplier need to charge below the maximum prices. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Great explanation, Ilyas. Can you give us an example, Iman?
For example, a landlord who owns all the property in an area can charge excessive prices. Maximum prices are a method to bring prices closer to a fair and competitive equilibrium. Usually, maximum prices are reserved for socially important goods such as food and renting, so the consumers can maintain their standard of living. For instance, an advantage for tenants during inflation. When product prices are high, tenants are still able to afford housing because price fluctuations are controlled.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Afrina Nazifa. Next, I'm going to continue the presentation with disadvantages of price ceiling. One of the disadvantages of price ceiling is the appearance of black market. When the government set a maximum price, the supplier needs to sell the good below the maximum price. This will lead to a shortage as demand increase. So consumers are unable to buy enough in legal market, then consumers try to overcome the shortage of the good and pay well at black market. Next, price ceiling will also reduce the quantity produced. This is because price acts as a balance wheel in the market mechanism. So, the supplier will not produce at lower price, as lower price will encourage consumption but decrease production.
Thank you, Afrina. Hi, I'm Amir. Aside from that, opportunistic producers could take advantage of a shortage by exploiting others, charging consumers who are desperate for something that is very low in supply with a price higher than the legally imposed price. Other than that, as a price ceiling on rent may reduce the quantity and quality of housing available, a massive housing shortage will occur, leaving a lot of people homeless. Consumers who are willing to pay a price above the price ceiling will be able to skip the waiting list for a rent-controlled apartment that may have surfaced from a shortage.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faris Shami and I'm going to explain the first scenario for price ceiling. So as you can see here, due to the current worldwide pandemic happening, people are advised to practice extra hygiene by constantly washing their hands, using hand sanitizers and wearing face masks. On the first wave of the pandemic in Malaysia, the pharmacies and drugstores outsold the face mask and hand sanitizers, making the demands for the productions of both items to abruptly risen. So, as we can see here, the quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. This caused some irresponsible sellers to take advantage of the situations by selling the face mask and hand sanitizers with a price higher than normal. The government has fixed the ceiling price for masks at RM1.50% each, 50 cents cheaper than the RM2 price before. This whole situation explains that a price ceiling is set by the government to prevent exploitation towards consumer. This happened because quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied. Despite the lower price, this situation has created a shortage of masks and sanitizers across Malaysia. So that's all for the first scenario, and moving on to the second scenario. Bye!
Assalamualaikum, my name is Shafira and I am going to read the second scenario. Samantha owns a house in Shiraz that she inherits from her deceased grandmother. She needs to pay for the taxes and plans to profit money from the house. She decided to rent the house to a few students that went to the university around the area. The price ceiling for the rent set by the government falls between 0.8% and 1.1% of the house's value. Since she did not buy the house on her own, she decided to decrease the charge to 0.5% of the house value to help the students.
And that is all from us. Thank you.